Ahoy hoy, I'm Planarwalk, and recently I have received many complaints about the autofocus on my camera, so I've decided to turn that off. You're welcome. But in all seriousness, today it's back to Level Earth Observer, which is a part 2 video to a video that I made the other day, because I'm showing him how to actually do his videos in parts. You know, the other one was part 1, and this is part 2. Now, Level Earth Observer was kind enough to leave another comment. Now, I'm not going to get Level Earth Observer to read it out again because, well, we all know what happened last time, and there's only so many times that you can do the same joke before it gets old. I love how you think you can debunk demonstrable reality with words, lol. That's 2 videos you've made, and you haven't cited one practical demonstration. You know, demonstrable science, lol. Plenty of adverts and PayPal, but no science, kid, lol. So firstly, you didn't demonstrate anything in your videos either. That's why I was so confused, and I still am rather confused, when you mentioned tower cranes, because I have no idea how they meant to prove the Earth is flat. So when it came to what I said in that video, what did I say that was untrue? Because if my premises were correct, and the logic is sound, then the conclusion should follow. And a lot of my last video was just explaining why your arguments don't work. But enough about my last video. We're on to this video, which is responding to a video by Level Earth Observer called Flat Earth: Why the Globe is Scientifically Impossible Part 2, even though technically there isn't a Part 1.
If you thought the image was daft, you wait till you see the so-called science that supposedly makes that a reality.
I mean, tower cranes that look to be over 6,000 kilometers tall, yeah, that does seem pretty crazy, to be honest.
We're going to look at 3 quick shots of supposedly scientific evidence making this, what we're seeing on our screen, a reality.
Now, is it going to make the 6,000 kilometer tall tower cranes a reality, or is it just going to show you that Earth is a globe? I'm assuming the latter.
Clearly ridiculous off the bat, not demonstrably true, and then when we review the globe science that says this is true, it becomes laughable.
So Earth is most definitely a globe. There are observations that have been made that show that Earth is a globe, like ships disappearing bottom first over the horizon, for example.
This is Ping Pong's evidence response to his best pal being annihilated by demonstrable reality the other day, and it being essentially Mannequin Man Dan was exposed as being an airfix dribbler and nothing more.
I don't know, Elio. From what I remember, you did a pretty piss poor job, so I don't think Simon Dan has been exposed at all. But hey, let's see what you have in this video.
I'm sorry if the truth beats you up, but if you're going to stand by the delusions of airfix models, you might want to give yourself a little slap.
Well, I'd say that if you want to state that something is an airfix model, you should have some pretty good evidence to back your claim up. Otherwise, it's just that. A claim without evidence. And that which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Because clearly, when we review the evidence...
Keeping in mind that Level Earth Observer did not provide any evidence himself,
which Ping Pong has supposedly come to the rescue with, it is clear and obvious the globe is literally a cannonball tribe of delusions.
I do hate to break this to you, Elio, but that is actually Flat Earth down to a T, because Flat Earthers, you can give them evidence, like clear, irrefutable evidence that Earth is a globe, but then they will still dismiss it without an adequate explanation.
Do not blame me, folks.
I suppose some of the blame does lie on other Flat Earthers for filling up your head with nonsense, but a decent amount of the blame is still on you for believing it.
I stand by what is simply demonstrably true.
No, you don't.
That way I can't be fooled. That way I can't fool anyone else.
Now, Elio probably thinks that he is beyond being fooled. However, That is not necessarily the case. There are many people that think they are beyond being fooled, but believe in weird things. I mean, there are people out there that think that a worldwide mudflood happened. There are people out there that think that you can predict earthquakes and the weather by using the moon. And there are people out there that think that you can summon UFOs just by meditating. And all these people that think these things think that they can never be fooled because they only believe the truth. At the end of the day, it's about analysing the evidence as a whole, not just looking at the evidence that you think supports your conclusions.
And the things we're going to look at, i.e. the supposed globe science, to make tower cranes a reality on a projectile that's doing ludicrous speeds in all different directions at once.
But how do those speeds add up to forces or accelerations? Because I have done the maths, and I've found that the outward acceleration due to Earth's spin is only about 3 centimeters per second squared. Now, 3 centimeters per second squared does sound like a lot, until you realize that gravity is 9.81 meters per second squared. Now, it would be nice if Leo decided to do the maths himself, because when you do the maths yourself, you find that all these speeds don't really add up to much in the grand scheme of things. Because yes, high speeds that have big numbers do seem like they'd have an impact, but it's not the speed that we need to be concerned about, it's the acceleration. And as a side note, infinity times 0 is 0.
The science that is cited to make that supposedly a reality is, well, let's have a look.
Just to reiterate, we're not trying to make the globe a reality. We're trying to show that the reality is that Earth is a globe.
Now, this is Ping Pong's practical demonstration. Yes, I said practical demonstration, not a chart or a bit of data. Practical demonstration of a vacuum next to an air pressure system without solid separation.
Indeed it is, because I don't know if Leo realizes this, but charts can represent things that have been measured. And one of the things that you do need to keep in mind is that you're not going to literally see air pressure next to a vacuum, because air is kind of see-through. So the best way to tell whether you've got air pressure or a vacuum is by taking measurements, not going, oh, that looks like a vacuum and that looks like air pressure, because you're not going to tell just by looking at it.
This is the practical demonstration that was cited by Ping Pong. I should add, he tried to turn things around when I stand by what is demonstrably true. I've asked him to demonstrate his model. He hasn't. He's produced a chart and then tried to turn things round.
Well, whether you like it or not, that is a graph based on data. And I've actually got Ping Pong here to tell us how he got the data for this graph.
Ping Pong? No, I'm not Ping Pong. I'm Mr. Sensible. Where's Wally is Ping Pong.
Well, where is Wally then?
Where's Wally? Where's Wally? Where's Wally? He's not here.
Okay, well, sorry about that. But anyway, we've got Baldy Cats here to explain how he got the data for this graph.
Baldy Cats? Why would you want to ask Baldy Cats about it? That graph is mine, from my Mage experiment, where I sent a high altitude weather balloon up to 38.25 kilometres. It had 2 wide angle cameras for the view and a view of the balloon, and a narrow angle camera with reference line strings across it, so that we could image the curve of the Earth and allow for any distortion. Additionally, there was a thermometer on there and a barometer. Those readings are the atmospheric pressure readings that my Mage experiment took on its flight up there, and it's displayed in a graph with a nice gentle curve downwards from full atmospheric pressure down to about 0.03, around 2 torr. If you want to know more about it, then check out my Mage What Shape is the Earth video.
Thanks, Creaky. One thing I would like to add on that is if you actually watch the video, it shows the balloon getting bigger and bigger due to lower atmospheric pressure around it. That's another important part that you would have seen if you had actually watched the video that you're talking about.
Might be clever and might fool the old dullard, but anyone with the slightest bit of common sense sees through it.
Well, anyone with the slightest bit of common sense would find out what that graph is representing and how the data was obtained.
Then I asked for a practical demonstration of a body of water wrapping and conforming to the outside of different shapes. Did I get a demonstration involving water?
By the looks of it, yeah, I'd say so.
I got footage which Ping Pong himself admits is GoPro from NASA. Again, this is not a practical demonstration.
Well, just because something is GoPro footage, it doesn't mean that it's fake or that it's not real. Now, I know that some flat earthers will say, but GoPro is fisheye lens. Well, in that case, I'd like to draw your attention to the solar panels. Now, if the curvature in this photo was due to fisheye lens, then we would see the solar panels curving with the horizon. But that is not what we see. Instead, we see the horizon curved and the solar panels being straight.
And then finally, I asked for proof that tower cranes could be dead still on a spinning ball, one that's going in 4 different directions at once at ludicrous speeds, spinning and wobbling and oscillating.
Oh, so that's what you're wanting. When you said tower cranes, I had no idea what the fuck you meant. In that case, my challenge to you, Level Earth Observer, would be to calculate how much of an effect the motion of the Earth would have on a tower crane. And I mean actually go ahead and calculate it. Do the maths.
Did I get a crane in my demo? No. Strangely enough, I got a bottle of water.
You've also got a coin standing on its edge. Thought I should maybe highlight that for you.
When I wanted water, I got photography.
Wait, how do you expect to be shown water conforming to the outside of a shape if not through visuals? Do you want a fucking audio file? Yes, that's exactly what I want. I want to hear the water conforming to the outside of a shape.
When I wanted practical reference, I got a chart. When I wanted a crane, I got a bottle of water.
Now either you try moving a full crane on a train that's going 200 kilometers an hour, or I suppose he could have used a toy crane, in which case, why does it need to be a crane?
I wouldn't have minded if your train demo, which was linear and sophist, I may add, had a pendulum on it. Even then, doing it like that, you still can't cite that because it highlights the absurdity of your fucking religion.
But that doesn't matter. What he is showing is that when you have motion, that does not necessarily translate to a force. It is when you have acceleration and deceleration that it translates to a force.
Yet alone one going in 4 different directions at once.
Going in 4 different directions at once. You do realize that all the directions, whenever you're talking about motion or anything, they all get added up to point in a single direction, right? Yeah, I know he doesn't realize that.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear indeed. You didn't seem to understand any of it. But that's not really surprising, you are a flat earther. But hey, I'm willing to help you out, Elio. If you still don't understand, then we can have a chat where I can try and help you understand the arguments that are actually being made. You can either send me an email or join my Discord, there'll be a link in the description, and send me a message on there and we can work things out from there. But anyway, that is not quite it for this video, because there's actually a couple of minutes left in this video for a song. But before that song, I want to remind everyone to leave a like and subscribe if you liked that video. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, so hopefully we reach that soon. And also be sure to ring the bell so that YouTube actually notifies you of when I post a video. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this song. There is a word I like. That word is pantomime. I know I'll win the fight if I say it all the time. The best proof I've got is my tower crane. But I got no more thoughts left in my brain. Elio, Elio's my name. Pantomime, pantomime. I wanna say it again. Elio, Elio's my name. Pantomime, pantomime. I wanna say it again. I say reality, I see it my own way, and it means nothing to me, because I'm not okay. Can you please provide practicality? I got loads on my side. This Elio's my name.